Now, from the perspective of a customer, which I am, I don't really like a lot of this news that we're about to talk about, and I don't think it's the best news for customers in general. Now, for the future of the company and autonomy and public transportation, a lot of this I feel like is actually pretty good news. But let's talk about all these changes that Tesla has made and how it affects us as customers, and maybe how it affects the future of full self-driving in general. So the big one, the one-time purchase of full self-driving is no more after February 14th, 2026. As of today, you have the option to purchase full self-driving for $8,000, and that will stay on your vehicle for the life of the vehicle. You never need to pay again. You get all the software updates to full self-driving. And in the past, you'd also get retrofits for that hardware, and maybe in the future we will too. I will talk about that a little bit later. But after February 14th, that option is gone. And for the longest time, it wasn't the best option to purchase full self-driving anyway. It was $8,000, or you can simply subscribe for $99 a month. And if you're going to keep your car for less than like 7 years, the subscription was a better option, especially if you were going to not do the subscription for even a couple of months out of the ownership of your vehicle. You would save money going the subscription route. But of course, subscription prices can change, and being on the subscription does not allow you to get any retrofits that you would need for full self-driving. Not that Tesla has done that in a long time, but going from hardware 2.5 to hardware 3, if you owned full self-driving, Tesla did that retrofit for free or included as part of your purchase of the full self-driving package. They did not do that retrofit for people who did not purchase full self-driving. So now we're moving on to subscriptions only. And personally, I try to minimize the amount of subscriptions in my life. Now, in the current age, the way we do things, it's impossible to have no subscriptions, but I do try to cut them where I can. And this is one of the places where I opted in to purchasing full self-driving. Now, was it the best decision financially 100% of the time, especially because I kind of swapped Teslas a lot the past few years? Maybe not, but it was something I could budget for, I could plan for. I could say, okay, here's my car payment. It's going to be this much per month. It's not going to change. That's it. On top of that, when I purchased my last Tesla, the interest rate was really low. So putting the full self-driving package onto my loan only increased my loan by about $100 a month. So I decided, again, I'm going to buy the full self-driving package because I know I'm going to use it. I'm never going to turn it off. And if it's $99 a month to subscribe or $100 a month to fully own it, I'm just going to own it and it's going to be mine. For a while, Tesla was also letting people transfer their full self-driving ownership over to a new Tesla if they were to buy a new Tesla. And that is still available until March 31st. If you buy a new Tesla, you can transfer your full self-driving ownership from your old one to your new one. Even if you have like a 2016 Tesla Model S that has full self-driving, if you trade that in for a new Tesla, you can move the full self-driving over to that new vehicle before March 31st. But another huge reason I didn't want to do the subscription of full self-driving is it was getting better and better. And what happens when something is getting better and better? It's going to increase demand. And so at that point, Tesla will raise the price. They can change the price of full self-driving willy-nilly however they want to. They could double the price. They could cut the price in half if not enough people are buying it. They could one month decide to double it and the next month decide to drop it by 50%. It could be anything at any time, whatever Tesla wants to do. And as if the option to purchase getting taken away wasn't enough of a kick, Elon Musk posted on X and said that the subscription price of full self-driving will increase over time as full self-driving capabilities improve. He specifically noted a massive jump in value will occur when the system becomes unsupervised, allowing you to sleep or use your phone, implying a significant price hike at that stage. It's like we can't win over here. Like, yeah, you can't buy it, but yeah, the $99 a month is a pretty good deal compared to buying it anyway, so that's fine. Oh, and by the way, you can't buy it, and we're gonna hike up the value of full self-driving on you. So it was a good deal, but it's not gonna be anymore. Now, from watching Tesla over the years, personally, I think part of this is kind of a demand lever push to kind of get people to move their butts, buy cars, and buy full self-driving before this disappears. That doesn't mean the purchase option is not going away. Nothing is in concrete until it actually happens. But I do think part of this messaging is like, hey, people, come spend a bunch of money on a Tesla and pay for full self-driving because it's going away. You better do it now. Side note, which is also pretty funny, the current referral program doubles your referral bonus from $250 up to $500 if the person you refer purchases full self-driving. So that's kind of weird how that plays in with the current referral program, because full self-driving is not going to be purchasable in just a few weeks here. But do you know what is still safe from price hikes because they still offer a lifetime plan? Today's sponsor, Sentry Pro. Unlike the basic Sentry mode that ships on our Teslas, Sentry Pro will alert you with real-time notifications the moment that Sentry mode activates. These alerts can trigger as soon as something sets off Sentry mode, not just a serious event. Sentry Pro is built by official Tesla partners using the Real Tesla API so your data stays safe and secure. On top of that, the reviews on Google Play, the App Store, and even in my videos have been amazing amazing. You guys seem to really love this app. And hey, you don't even need a retrofit. Sentry Pro works on old Teslas, your old 2016 Model S. It'll work great, or you can use it on your brand new 2026 Tesla Model Y. But not your brand new 2026 Tesla Model S for long, because those aren't going to exist soon. You don't need premium connectivity, and you can try the app out for free down below. So use that link, check it out. You can pay a monthly subscription for Sentry Pro if you want, or you can choose their lifetime option. You can make one payment and it's yours forever. So check out Sentry Pro with the link down below. Always know what's going on around your Tesla. And thank you so much to Sentry Pro for sponsoring this video. Now, another part with all of these changes around full self-driving, having to pay for the subscription, the price of the subscription going up, not being allowed to buy full self-driving, have people speculating on a lot of things. And one of the major things that is still unanswered, and I don't think Tesla's going to give us a direct answer, is for us people that do own full self-driving, or if you buy it within the next couple of weeks, does owning full self-driving at $8,000 or $15,000, whatever we paid, give you access to unsupervised full self-driving once it's released? As of right now, on our cars, if you enable it, it's full self-driving supervised. It's not unsupervised. And so is that going to be something that's going to be a different product or a level up in the full self-driving product once it's released? Now, we were supposed to have full self-driving by the end of a lot of years at this point, the end of many years, and the end of last year. We were also supposed to have unsupervised full self-driving for customers in select cities, and that didn't happen. Tesla barely even got their own robotaxis unsupervised in time for the end of last year, and there's like one or two unsupervised Model Y driving around Austin right now, but let's ignore that for now, and let's talk about the future and assume right now, we're assuming that we are going to get to that unsupervised phase at some point, which, you know, I do think is an eventuality, but let's ignore the timeline for now. So I bought full self-driving. Now, I don't know what the website said when I bought it, but full self-driving supervised wasn't a thing back then. And if you go and look at Tesla's website right now, what you are purchasing is specifically full self-driving supervised. Now, is this going to lead to two tiers? Are we going to have in the future a supervised version of full self-driving and an unsupervised version of full self-driving? And if that happens, are us owners that own full self-driving going to have to pay an additional fee monthly to access the unsupervised version of this software? It could be like a tier 1, tier 2 premium service set up where it's almost the same, but if you want that extra little bit of sleepiness or not having the liability, you're going to have to pay for it. This could be an additional monthly fee or a robotaxi license fee for those who bought full self-driving. There could even be different tiers where you can have personal unsupervised and you could go around in your car or your family or whatever and use unsupervised. But if you want your car to go out and make money, like Tesla's been talking about for so many years, you have to get onto the robotaxi license fee tier where you pay a little bit more and then your car will go out and give rides for you in Tesla's robotaxi network. I think more they would probably do like a rev share model where every ride, you know, Tesla gets a percentage of whatever you made on that ride. But either way, this could lead to more fees or different tiers of full self-driving in the future. We don't have any type of guarantee or grandfather guarantee that full self-driving owners are getting unsupervised. Now, I am going to say, I do believe if this question was like directly asked to Elon and he directly answered it, I think he would say, yes, that includes unsupervised full self-driving. That's all the same thing. Now, the reason I think he'd say that is because his answers are not always that reliable, whether he knows that that's not the correct answer or not. I do believe that's what we would hear from him and Tesla at this point, but let's take it another direction. What if it turns out that full self-driving supervised ends up being a free tier model and the full self-driving unsupervised ends up being the subscriber model? Because as you've probably heard, autopilot is also no more. Tesla's taking away everything. They're taking our cars away, no more Model S and X. They're taking our autopilot away. You can't have basic autopilot. And they're taking away our ability to buy full self-driving. What is going on over at this place? Autonomy, AI, it's changing everything. So current full self-driving owners who paid anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 are expressing valid concerns that they're not sure if the unsupervised version of full self-driving is going to be part of what they paid for. Now, another reason to bring up the free tier of supervised full self-driving and then the paid tier of unsupervised full self-driving, there's really two main things, be like this. There's really two main things here that kind of make me think about this. Number one is liability and insurance. If I, spent $8,000, whatever, on my car to have full self-driving, and then Tesla goes, okay, you're unsupervised, and my unsupervised car crashes into a building and the building burns down and nobody gets injured because it's okay. Tesla's responsible for all that, right? Because they said, go ahead and go to sleep. It's unsupervised, blah, blah, blah. And they'd be responsible. So they can't afford to do that for too many cars, right? That would be way too much liability that's on them. And so you may have to pay some type of liability fee or insurance fee or something to cover that unsupervised aspect of the ride. Now, the other way I'm looking at it is throughout the history of vehicle manufacturing, when you get a new safety feature that ends up saving lives and being really important in keeping people safe, either in the car or outside of the car, that gets standardized across the industry. So, of course, seatbelts, that used to be like a luxury item that you get in luxury cars. And then the government kind of figured out like, whoa, hold on. No. Everyone has to have that in their car. Airbags, reverse backup cameras. Most of these things started as like luxury features and then trickled down to cheaper cars and then eventually became mandatory in all vehicles. And so full self-driving, we know it's super safe. If you use it every day, you know how safe it is. Sometimes it's annoyingly safe, but that's a good thing overall. And if the statistics come out that all these Teslas driving around with full self-driving are getting into less accidents, which they seem to be, and also their accidents are less severe, which definitely seems to be the case, then there may come a time where it's like, okay, you can't go out on the road without having this option at least available to you. So that could lead either to Tesla altruistically, through their greatness of making all this money through Optimus and AI, just saying, here you go, everybody, have full self-driving. We want you to be safe, but not unsupervised. You still got to pay attention. You got to pay us if you want to take a nap. Or government regulation coming in. I think this is super unlikely. I'm just going way far future here. Government regulation coming in and saying, all right, you know what? This is way safer. You can't stop selling these cars without full self-driving. It's got to be on all of them. Now, on top of all of this, Hardware 3 owners and Europe and you guys, who don't have FSD yet, there's your shout out. We hear you, but this is all kind of happening in the US. So we're going to focus on this for now. It'll hopefully trickle down to you eventually. Sorry. I know some people don't find it funny, but I don't know what else to say because we really don't know what Tesla's plan is here. Hardware 3 owners are also concerned that their cars will not be retrofit for autonomy, but both Elon and Ashok have confirmed multiple times over the past year or two that once they get unsupervised full self-driving done on Hardware 4, they will go back to Hardware 3 and do what's needed to enable unsupervised.
There is some chance that Hardware 3 does not achieve the safety level that allows for unsupervised FSD. There is some chance of that, and if that turns out to be the case, we will upgrade those who have bought Hardware 3 FSD for free. We're going to have to upgrade people's Hardware 3 computer for those that have bought full self-driving, and that is the honest answer.
This video was posted by Holmar's blog over on X, and Elon responded to this video and said, yeah. So again, this has been said multiple times by them. Elon again confirming that they do have this in the cards, in the plan, but it's still a concern. It's a huge purchase that people made long ago. And as unsupervised gets delayed and delayed and delayed, those cars are getting older and older and older to the point where a lot of them are going to be off the road or being prepared to be off the road by the time Tesla even gets to this retrofit process. So hopefully they're already planning it and they're not like, okay, now that unsupervised is done, let's look at Hardware 3 and start from scratch. Now that kind of leads me into talking about the recent Hardware 4.5 rumors that you guys are going crazy about. And I made like a joke post and everyone like lost their minds over it, how my 2026 Model Y that I got in March is already legacy. And yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm just joking around, everybody, but people are very concerned about this. Hardware 4.5, we don't even have unsupervised yet. There's robotaxis out there and they might have Hardware 4.5 and we don't have it yet. Now there's a few aspects to this. Number one, it seems like this is, you got to trust me, bro. This is like sources familiar with the matter, like seriously, but like for real it is. Hardware 4.5 isn't real. Okay. I don't know. It seems like it was just a fluke. There was some rumors about it having to do with where this stuff was manufactured or something. And it's just for Tesla to track supply chain. Either way, from what I hear, Hardware 4.5 isn't like a concern. Don't worry about it. But even if that is true, which it is, the robotaxis in Austin now have washers on the rear and repeater cameras. Tesla, how long have we been telling you our cars need this? This has been driving me nuts for the past few days. After I saw those videos, I was like, oh my gosh, again, there's two ways to look at this. From autonomy perspective, that's so cool. Like, good, they're advancing the robotaxis, blah, blah, blah. But from like a what are you thinking perspective, what took so long to put those on there? Anyone driving a Tesla that's not in California for more than a few days figured out, especially with the rear camera, that you can't drive around with nobody in the car unless you can wash the cameras off. Now, as owners, yes, we can just hop out, we can wipe it off with our thumb. It takes 2 seconds. I've been doing it for years, and the car works perfectly fine. But we've been told for how many years that the cars were robotaxi ready. And yes, Tesla has been updating, like, okay, we really thought Hardware 3 was robotaxi ready, but it's not. So we're going to retrofit you, don't worry. Hardware 4, it's definitely robotaxi ready, but My hardware 3 car from 6 years ago, I could have told you needed washers on the cameras. So now you're going to retrofit all that? You're going to retrofit all that? I don't think so. I don't think they will. Now, you can. I actually did it myself on my Cybertruck. I ran a line all the way from the front, all the way to the back through the Cybertruck, and I had that washer on my camera. I did that almost immediately after getting my Cybertruck, because in the Cybertruck, not only do you need that camera for full self-driving like all the other Teslas, that camera is your backup mirror. And after driving the car for, I don't know, 3 hours, I was like, oh, I need a way to wash this camera off, or else I'm not going to have a rear view mirror for a large portion of my driving. So this has been really frustrating that it's not me, it's all people. Like most Tesla drivers have kind of been like, what's going on with this rear camera? It's dirty all the time. Why can't we wash it? So that gets frustrating when Tesla's like, yes, we're almost unsupervised. Now, can Tesla get away with saying, yes, your hardware 4 car is unsupervised? You don't need the washers. It can drive itself most of the time, like 90%, 80, 70%, whatever the percentage is, without using those washers. And it's just crazy to me that Tesla has probably heard this feedback from us for years. And then they put 10 robo-taxis out on the road and they go, oh crap, the cameras are getting dirty. Like, oh man, guys, we need some washers on these cameras. Like, oh, good, great invention there. On top of that, I would assume the washer reservoir is not any bigger. So holy moly, I already think the washer reservoir is not big enough, especially with how much FSD likes to clean its front cameras. All right, I've spent enough time on washers, but it's so important. It's so important and so obvious. It kind of blew my mind that they waited this long to do it. And then on top of the washers, the front camera have a new housing, which of course a lot of people have been dealing with the off-gassing. So some of the plastic off-gassing can get into that camera area and make your glass foggy in front of your cameras. It's been a big topic. I actually have a whole video on my channel about cleaning those cameras and how to do it. And I have Tesla's guide pinned in that video as well, if you just want to follow Tesla's guide and not even watch my video. And it's something that you probably will have to do like at least once. Our 2023 Model Y, I don't believe I've ever cleaned them and it hasn't been a problem. But my 2026 Model Y, I had to clean that glass area once after just like a month, because very quickly all that new stuff from the new car came off and got all over the glass. Now the car can warn you of this, but it's kind of like you have to take your car apart. This part definitely was not like constructed and installed with service in mind, with like taking it off and cleaning that area regularly. It's not something a normal customer would ever do, although you can if you look into it. But these new camera housings go all the way around the camera, so either they're sealed better so nothing will get in there, or it's maybe easier to pull down or something. I think the second option would be better, because if it does get dirty eventually, you don't want to make it harder to get to. But although there is supposedly no such thing as hardware 4.5, there is new hardware on the robotaxis that our customer cars don't currently have installed.